Fashion to me means being comfortable in what you're wearing. Basically, you can be uncomfortable even though you're wearing the best clothing by the best designers. So for me, the key ingredient to fashion design is knowing your clients and designing what looks good on them rather than following what's the trend. Obviously, the trend makes a huge difference, but the correct silhouette is half the battle won. My experience at Raffles has been really good, as here we are given the liberty to express our thoughts and visions. The teachers are very supportive. Being in a fashion design course, I expected a lot of predictable subjects, but Raffles teaches us around all possibilities for the future. We have done a lot of subjects that are not related to fashion design as such, but are necessary for us to survive in the fashion industry. I would also like to address the issue that some parents have with sending their kids abroad right after schooling. So this is a place where they would get that exposure that they would if they would go out. So I would highly recommend Raffles to them because of the international faculty and the exposure. The subject that interested me the most was DRD, which is Design Research and Development. So here I have one of my projects that I'll be discussing with you. This was the first stage of my project, and my inspiration was UV lighting, which was basically man-made form of UV lighting. I took it forward to my first assignment, that was kidswear. In my kidswear, I tried to implement and use a lot of fun elements, and basically did a line for theme parties. So I used a lot of fluorescent elements and white, as you know they glow in the UV light, and placed them in strategic areas which would be fun for kids. Further, I moved on with my research, which was juxtaposing my original research, that is UV lighting, which is a man-made form. I moved it to the natural form of UV lighting, and I researched the facts. And what interested me the most was that even though humans do not have the ability to see the wavelength of the UV light, animals do. So I came up here with 5 animals, which are butterflies, birds, bees, reindeers, and fish. And I zeroed in on the fish, and I researched further as to why the fish have that ability to see, and what actually do they see with that UV gift that they're given. So I tried to basically place lines strategically on the bodies to accentuate the curves, because the fish basically use it for the UV markings to distinguish between one type to another. Also, they use it to attract the opposite sex. So my basic idea behind this collection was placing lines strategically so that it accentuates the female body and basically you look good. Also, what you would see in my collection is that I had to juxtapose it with another thing. So I looked into the history of optics, and I found out that it was by the Greek philosophers that the optics were discovered. So I further went into my research, and I came across this term called palimpsest, and I read a few articles by the BBC and a lot of other important newspapers, and they had mentioned about how these scrolls from the ancient Greek times have been found now, and UV lighting is being used to see what was written before. So basically, palimpsest, it's a manuscript or a scroll or a book from which text has been scrapped off and things have been rewritten. So basically today in today's day and age, you can see those things that had been scraped off with the help of UV lighting. If you see, this is my collection. I had to do 5 dresses. This is the one that I like the most, and I have stitched in my project workshop class. You can see that the lines are being placed very strategically to accentuate the body form. This is a representation of the palimpsest, which is the layering, which is the ability to see one layer on top of the other.